Happy motherfucking Sunday, you beautiful fucking stoners and you beautiful fucking witches. Here we are again. Fucking episode 6. Thank you very much. How about that shit right there, huh? So, welcome, you beautiful people. What are we talking about today? Well, we're going to tap in a little bit considering today is a full moon and a lunar eclipse. Well, lunar eclipse was actually last night, but you know. But today we have a special on basically mind altering during spirituality. And we have our beautiful Madam T on board. We have our beautiful Chicha B on board. What the fuck's going on, ladies?
Hey, just rolling the doobie here.
Excellent. It is doobie time, I would say, for sure. Hello,
yeah.
Michigan Native. You are number one, baby. How you doing?
Michigan Native, Highwayman, what's up?
Hey, Highwayman. So yes, welcome to episode 6, Witchy Weekends, everybody. Hell yeah!
Cheers.
I have coffee from this morning still.
Cheers.
Where's my bong? That's not the cheers I want.
I'm gonna pack my bowl before I roll this movie.
What's up, Lizard King? How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey.
Episode 6.
No shit.
Yeah, guys, sorry for the
I didn't get a hit. It's so fucking fun. So yeah, psychedelics today we're talking about. We're gonna dive into some awesome shit. Just to are we ready down there? We're ready down there.
Yeah.
And Lily Luna. Okay, this is I think this is our complete panel. I think.
We might have a surprise. Who knows?
Yeah, Tilly might hop on later. It's very possible, but we're not positive. So don't expect her. Just be surprised if she hops on.
always fun.
We love surprises, don't we?
Oh my gosh. Jackie. Jackie's here, Deadhead.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, the white Tupac. What's up, sweetheart? Dank
Hey,
Brownies in the house.
Brownies.
Very cool.
How the fuck is everybody? So yeah, today we're talking psychedelics. We're talking basically mind altering. It doesn't have to necessarily always be psychedelics, right? We're talking weed. We're talking even alcohol. You know, things that mind alter yourself that can help you if you put that intention there. That can help you into your spirituality. Now, as a preface, you won't be hearing from me much through this because I don't have that kind of I don't have the education to give you on this one, guys. I gotta leave it up to these beautiful ladies on this one because I'm gonna I've been smoking weed my whole fucking life. Like, seriously. I have not smoked weed to be spiritual. I have not done things to be spiritual. That's just who the fuck I am. So I can't really talk on this subject a whole lot. So I am going to back the fuck out. But before I do so, I do want to touch on a little bit of a different subject real quick. We are in a full moon today. We are in our full moon cycle today. It was last night, tonight, and tomorrow. We have 3 days of full moon energy. So remember that. You have the ability to tap into those for 3 days.
So if all you stoners forgot to charge your crystals last night and make your moon water, it's okay, bitches. You still have tonight and tomorrow.
But just remember to get them before the sun gets up. You know, set an alarm. I don't know.
What's up,
Okay.
We got Twisted in the house.
Hey, Twisted. Hey, Venus.
Anna's up in the house.
Ray.
Twisted, Goliath, and Norway.
Goliath. Oh, hi, guys. Oh,
Reagan, hello, you guys. Okay,
nice.
So we're going to have to see how this works. You guys never see me without glasses. I put contacts on today, and I don't know how long this is going to last because my eyes get dry as fuck, and they're already watering.
Oh, Jesus.
So we'll see how long this lasts. But yes, okay, going back on the full moon before we get really involved in the psychedelics, because we know that's why you're here. But yes, today is full moon. It is full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn does have its own energies. I am not going to dive into this very big because we are going to start talking moon talk after this episode. So I'm just going to touch on the moon today because we're in a full moon. And then you can come back next week for our first cycle.
Hell yeah.
Tilly's coming in 5.
Our first
But-
phase.
Our first phase. There it is. Our first phase of our
Get the hook. Get the hook. We will not be here.
So, definitely. Okay, so the moon. Now, we know that the moon tends to bring out a little bit of, as Twisted would say, maybe full moon madness. I don't know. But that's kind of the point of the full moon. It builds up that energy. It is a climactic phase, and it is ready for you to release what you need to release in your life. It is ready for you to let go any of that toxic energy, any of that past hurts or past things that have just kind of not gone away yet. This is your time to dig the fuck in and get rid of them and meditate and do some cleansing rituals and whatever you want to do. The full time is the best time for that because it is literally impregnated with your bullshit and it's ready to let it go. So let it fucking go.
Sorry.
And also to kind of piggyback on that anyway, we have a partial lunar eclipse this weekend, and lunar eclipses in themselves have the energy for that immediate change, for that energy, for that ending and release. So you have like a kind of a double whammy this weekend. If you feeling some shit, like maybe that's why, because maybe you need to let that shit go. The lunar eclipse and the full moon is telling you to do so. So I'd like to kind of go around the room, around the panel, if you will, and even chat as well, because some of you might have done some full moon shit last night. Some of you might be planning to do some full moon shit tonight, like me, because I'm a lazy fucking witch. And some of you might plan to do some full moon shit on Monday night. I don't know. But I'm going to go around the panel, ask what these ladies have done for their full moon, and you guys tell me what you guys did too. By the way, hello, Tilly. Tilly in chat. Hello. Anybody else new here? No. Okay, just Tilly.
She said she's coming on soon.
Hamilton. Oh my God. Good to see you, sweetheart. Good to see you. What's up, Pokey?
Thanks for joining us. Mr. Seven. What's up?
Hey.
Hey. Okay. Who wants to go full moon info first? What they did. What did you do?
I'll go first because it's. Oh, sorry.
No,
go ahead.
Cheech did. Go.
Okay, it's very simple. I haven't done anything. Enjoyed some fireworks, and on the way home, I was like, "Look at the fucking moon! Look at it!" And that was about it. That's all. I did. So
said every witch ever. Look at the moon.
Every witch.
There's fireworks going off. I'm like, but the moon. Okay.
Fuck
So,
yeah.
That's all I've done.
Do you have any plans for tonight or tomorrow?
I could probably think of some plans. We'll see.
I think we might have plans for tonight. I'm not sure.
Maybe. We'll
Maybe.
see.
Fuck with witches. Lily Luna, gorgeous mama. What have you done for the full moon? Or what are you going to do?
Well, last night I cleansed all my crystals and stones and such and made some moon water. And tonight I think I'm going to work on some meditation and journaling, some intentions and things like that. And then on Monday, because I have to work later on tonight, so I can't do as much as I want to do tonight. But on Monday, I want to do maybe some more manifesting of releasing my bullshit. So
Excellent. Love it.
Awesome.
And what about you, Madam T?
Yes, madam. Tell us. What do you do?
Well, first up, shots to ancestors. If you're in the ancestor magic, shots.
I wish I could do some shots.
No, I messed up. Like, so this whole bottle, I made an agreement to connect with my ancestors because there's something about rum. It came up when I was making tinctures, and there's something in my ancestral line about rum. And for those of you who don't know me, I am just learning my genetic background. I'm adopted, and I grew up in like Slavic traditions. But it turns out that genetically, I am of Irish origin. So I am tonight. This is incorporated into the full moon stuff that I'm doing tonight. I've been keeping up with ancestors. That was my agreement, but I missed a day, so I had to start over. But I'm delving into Celtic Druidism. I'm starting that process, and I'm really, really excited because that whole process actually deals with what we're talking about today, and it's like one of my favorite things to do. So I'm really excited. I got to spend the full moon last night with my best friend, and it was absolutely, literally fucking magical. So, and also, as you guys know, like my obsession with the oils have been a big part of the anointing and whatnot. And they're going to be involved tonight and tomorrow night as well. I'm going to do a full anointing ceremony. So, and oh yeah, of course, moon water. Definitely have another fire tonight, even though it's just going to be in my fireplace and not outside. It'll still work. It'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's
Lots
awesome.
of fun stuff. Oh, and if you guys have if you have a full clear view of the full moon, look immediately to the moon's left tonight, and you'll see Jupiter and Saturn, and they are absolutely fucking stunning. Absolutely stunning.
I am so hoping for a cloudless night so I can fucking take a picture because I couldn't get a picture last night.
Wish I had a better camera.
Yeah.
I've got a massive fucking lens of a camera, like for my camera, that I can take some serious fucking pictures, but I had too many clouds last night. Too many.
Damn it.
Thanks for all the compliments, guys.
Yes, T is looking fabulous in her wig. I love it. Do we not love T's blue wig, you guys? Come on, like for real. Shout that shit out.
Love it.
Hey.
And
Fucking
my girl Anna, Pat, tits out for the full moon. Titties out for everything.
Titties out for everything, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, we did. We did moon bathe last night, briefly. So there was that too.
I love it.
If you've never laid out, like, and summertime's perfect time to do it. If you've never laid out naked at night under the full moon, just do it. Like,
what are you doing with your life?
you have mosquitoes. Be careful where you're spraying stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely moon bathe.
All right. So I am. Sadly, I don't have a whole lot to hit on right now. I gotta. Let me take a bit of that. Did we all do? Okay, let's go to the chat and does anybody have some?
Oh, it's almost 4:20, guys. It's almost 4:20.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's almost 4:20.
Thank you for that. Because I can never fucking pay attention
here.
I just want to give a shout out to my husband that loaded my bowl for me in prep for this.
Aww.
That's a good man. That's a man who can anticipate your needs. A man who can do that.
I was like, why is this bowl here? He goes, that's for you. I was like,
I'm so glad you married him.
You know when your soulmate, when they fucking get the bowl ready for you, right? No.
Look,
are you ready, baby girl?
You can make me laugh. And like make me laugh in my pants and anticipate any of my needs, or remember the shit that I say when I'm like, oh, I really like this, and you remember it 3 months later. I'll fucking marry your ass, I swear.
hell yeah.
I know that's right. Look who's just not enjoying us.
Really?
You all look so beautiful today.
And
Aww.
so do you, my dear.
Always, you always look gorgeous.
Looking bomb blonde shell as always, baby.
Love you guys.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
These bitches better let me in the panel before they smoke a bowl, because I'm not about to smoke this bowl by myself over here.
I know that's fucking right. I'm trying to I'm on roach fucking weed right now besides my dab. So I'm just trying to like fucking get this shit together for fucking.
Oh my gosh. I wish I could telekinetically send you weed.
I know, right?
Right?
That's the next spell that I need to learn. Send
Right?
me
Yeah.
weed with my mind.
Thank you.
It's like magic weed. Like you're just walking along and then like poof, there's an eighth.
And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about weed and witchcraft and drugs. And
That
witchcraft.
actually reminds me of
And
a
drugs and
story.
witchcraft. All the mind-opening substances that you can take to enhance, not fuck up your mind, enhance your mind. Okay, let's make sure there's a line.
There
that
is a
is
difference.
a very fine line in this shit. I'm not even gonna lie. My fucking wig keeps falling forward. But yeah, you don't fuck yourself up. You need to, like, you know, everything in moderation, right, guys?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
But at the same time, I will say I have ingested massive amounts of substances for the sole purpose of how far will it take me, especially when it comes to LSD. Like, I'm like, how far can you go? How low can you go? Like,
Yeah. Intention is super important, but sometimes it doesn't matter what your intention is when you do something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Your brain's gonna go where it's going to go.
Yep.
Yep. For sure.
Absolutely, you guys.
Part of the magic, though.
1 minute. Okay, you got 1 minute, hun? All right.
420 here.
Yep. 420 now.
420, guys. 420. Cheers. Big booty witches.
Here,
Big booty witches.
Big booty witches. Titties out for the full moon.
titties out for everything. Everybody loves titties.
We never put those things away.
Never put them away. Never put them away.
Salute to all you guys, man.
All right. Right. Now, let's dig the fuck in. I'm so excited. Okay, we talked a little bit about kind of who's going to go first and stuff like that. And I think we're going to start with, I don't remember now, guys.
It's Lily Luna.
Yeah, it's you and Lily.
Yes. So, hi. So I haven't done a lot of drugs in my recent years. I did a lot in like college and things, and they were never really with the intent of having any kind of spiritual connection or any kind of work like that, any spiritual work. The only drug that I've ever done is cannabis when it comes to working with different manifestations of myself and trying to meditate and trying to figure out who I am and working inward and everything. And in that is where I found my craft and everything else. And so I was looking up some cool things. I'm really going to actually give this over to Tilly because Tilly has like awesome knowledge and everything. And I'm like literally looking at some notes that I took because I just know from my experience of smoking different strains of weed, especially indica versus sativa. As I choke on this weed, it obviously makes you feel different. It has a different high, your body high, your head high, anything like that. And so I'm still trying to even figure out now that I'm trying to incorporate it into my practice more, where that goes. So yes, Tilly, teach me how.
Yeah, so there is like a ton of practical uses for witchcraft, like things you can just do, just like every time you smoke that make things really easy. But yeah, like Christina said, first of all, it's just, I think, a naturally spiritual herb. Like historically, it's been used for healing and as an aphrodisiac and for many different things, throughout history. So definitely goes back a really long time, but I've got like pages in my grimoire about like practical ways to incorporate witchcraft into smoking weed or ways to incorporate weed into your witchcraft. See the two can kind of boost each other, and if you're already going to smoke weed every day, it might as well make it a little magical, right?
Oh yeah.
So I have like some different sections. Like I have some grinding magic. So grinding with intention, basically, like while grinding, just imagine you're grinding away the negativity type thing. Eliminate all your bad thoughts, think of good things as you're grinding the weed. And I also have an incantation that is to be spoken out loud while grinding that I love to do. While I just put all my love and healing and positive energy into the weed while I chant this. I can read it to you guys.
Here, you want me to put you up close? You can show it.
Sure. It's kind of sloppy, but it says, from
Oh my
earth
God,
to
that's
air.
beautiful.
and here to there, through pestle to essence, here I sow. From whole to powder, on mortar you go. Round and round may your power grow. Continue to let your energy flow.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah, you can just kind of chant that over and over again to kind of like really just raise the energy sort of, and, you know, lift that feeling. Try to imagine maybe a white light or something in that area or in your hands, projecting from you into that hands. You can imagine that you're taking energy up from the earth or down from the universe in through the top of your crown, or down through the roots of your feet, you know, and imagine pushing that energy out into the weed as you're kind of grinding it. So grinding magic, wonderful. Always grind with intent. Even if you don't say the chant out loud, like I said, just putting that intent there, it does a lot already. Yeah, I have so many sections, you guys. I have ash magic. Obviously, if any of you guys do black salt, I believe that's like a Santeria thing originally or something, but it's kind of, black salt's pretty much used all kinds of witches. Like I've seen hoodoo, voodoo, Wiccan, all kinds of practitioners kind of use black salt, but it's basically, yeah, it's an all-purpose pretty tool. It's kind of just salt, usually salt that you turn black, usually with ash, and so that's where the weed witchcraft comes in. Is you can save ashes from your weed and from your bowls or whatever, from your little joint, yes, tea from your thing, and you can grind it up with some salt, and you call that black salt. And I think just the intent of like kind of putting the ash in there is really good, because the color black is already a really banishing color. It's for usually like banishing, getting rid of negative energies, and salt already is also good for banishing, getting rid of negative energies. So usually black salt is used for like protection, making barriers, things like that. People put it outside of the barriers of their homes, their doors. Really good tool though. You can kind of incorporate it in spell jars, all kinds of things. I'm looking for my jar of ash. I don't know. I have a jar of ash that I'm saving. I also have like a little cinnamon in there, because cinnamon's pretty good for banishing and getting rid of negative stuff too. But black salt's kind of one of those things you can incorporate all sorts of different ingredients, depending on your intent. But generally, yeah, it's used for protection and things like that. Also usually made in an cast iron skillet. Originally it was made in a cast iron skillet, and it would be black because people would grind it so hard they would incorporate iron shavings into the black salt as they were making it, and that part of that was sort of part of the black salt as well. I don't really see people do that as much anymore. Not that many people have cast iron skillets, like real nice ones anymore, but
right.
Iron shavings is another like traditional ingredient. But yeah, any spells that include ashes, you can use black salt for. I said the ashes can be a good way to include cannabis and things if you don't want, like in a mojo bag or something, if you want to include cannabis for its aphrodisiac qualities or for its calming properties, instead of incorporating actual flower in like a bag or something that might smell. Ash can be a more convenient way to incorporate still the energies of cannabis. And also I like to use the ash too, because I feel like it infuses it with my own energy. When I smoke weed and it turns to ash, it's sort of, I feel like my intention went through it. I see that I've written, you can put the ashes in your garden as well, like weed plants in your garden to bless your plants and accelerate growth. That's something I've written down as well. Yeah, that's some ash magic for y'all. I just feel like I've been like spitting information, and now I need to smoke a bowl.
Cheers to that.
A tiny little break. She's spitting that knowledge at you guys.
I try to explain everything in like background. I'm kind of all over the road, so sorry if I'm not the best explainer.
You know what? We're stoners, sweetheart. That's the way we talk. And then as stoners, we just put it all together when we need to.
Well, it's all good information. I mean, it's all good information to know. So.
It's good. I just try to offer a ton of information. Thing I have.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Tilly.
Oh, you're good. No, I'm just trying to spit anything I have at you guys, and like if it sticks, it doesn't, and if it does, it does. But You guys speak word vomit. You guys understand my word vomit. You're used
Yes.
to it.
Oh yeah.
No, that was a lot of great information, Tilly. And those are some things
Yes.
that, like, you know, a lot of that stuff is just everyday things. And that's just it. It's like, you know, you can do everyday shit and make it magic. Like you can, it's taking a shower, smoking your bowl, you know, grinding your weed, like everything that you do, as long as you intent into it, your whatever intent you need from that, from what you're doing, from the energy you're trying to, whatever, it's just everyday shit that is you're putting intention into that creates your magic. And that's
Even as we're getting ready to smoke our bowls and stuff, like anybody that's smoking out of a bong, like that's all of the elements. You know, that fire, air.
I can move on to that.
Like,
I got
yeah,
bong magic in here.
Yeah.
Full page on
anything
bong
like
magic.
that. And then we have the water from the bong. And then I've also heard some fun things that you can do with the bong water if you're trying to do a little hexing.
I mean, the water, like your mouth, like the smoke is passing
exactly
through your mouth, which is
yes.
so like no matter what you smoke, you have all four elements at your disposal.
Literally.
You have fire, air, water,
Even the five,
and earth,
you know, of spirit, because you yourself are doing it.
Yeah. So for me, I definitely incorporate a lot of weed into my witchcraft. Also, obviously, a little bit of alcohol. I know that sounded funny with me, like picking up a whole goddamn bottle, but like, you get what personally, I do really enjoy psychedelics. Acid has been a long time favorite of mine. I actually made the decision. I like distinctly remember this when I was 17. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try every single drug known to man. Like nobody peer pressured me. You know, that wasn't the thing. Like when I was 17, I was like, yeah, sounds fucking awesome. I'm gonna like try every drug known to man. And, you know, I probably shouldn't have seen Fear and Loathing at that point, but hey, like whatevs. But recently, okay, so I was always wanting to try shrooms, right? Always wanted to try shrooms, and I would be so disappointed because every time I tried them, nothing. People would be tripping balls, and I would eat like double what they had and nothing until
It's strange.
the magic room.
I
found someone. Well, they found their way to me, and it's what's really funny is they found their way to me once I made the decision to open myself up to Druidism, and I have had the opportunity and I'm very humbled by my experience with shamanic breath work as well. So I know we're talking about like mood or mind altering substances, but the human breath is probably the most mood or mind altering tool that you can utilize. Believe it or not, you can create any space. You can be stone cold sober and through certain types of breathing bring about a state of mind or a state of being, which was how I experienced. This was my experience of shamanic breath work as taught by certified practitioners. It changed my whole life. Madam T would not be here today doing this with you had it not been for shamanic breath work. So I owe a lot to that experience, and that's just utilizing the breath. And there's a whole practice about it that I will not get into. But I really wanted to call attention to the breath because there are witches who are in recovery who abstain from any and all mind and mood altering chemicals. And if for some reason they're watching this, I want them to know that their breath can certainly be a way to achieve those other states without actually ingesting any type of chemical. But I love to take psychedelics, and I love baths. I love water. I have so much fire in my chart, and I am obsessed with water. Like I wish I'd been born with gills. So I will actually take psychedelic, use and take an herbal ritual bath and lay in the water, and water transmits way faster than if I'm on, sitting in my bed and meditating or sitting somewhere and meditating. If I'm in water, it calms so fast. And it's really, really powerful. So I very much enjoy that. And no, I'm never in any danger of drowning. No, I've never had a bad trip because my mind, it's something I learned. My mind is rock solid. It can take me anywhere I want to go. It can get me through absolutely any situation. It's proven that to me time and time again. And so when I take psychedelics, I'm fully in control. Now, I release myself to the process, but it's never taken me to a bad trip or anything like that. So I'm a huge fan of LSD or magic mushrooms, especially magic mushrooms. Now that I found some that work for me, I actually prefer these. But that being said, there's some Lucy headed my way here shortly. So we shall see. I don't know. It may have changed. It may have changed since the last time I've done it, which has been, oh, you guys, I'm about to tell my age a little bit. It's been 19 years.
Hey.
Yeah, it's been 19 years. So since I've done acid and so yes, I do utilize that. I've tried in the past to utilize pharmaceuticals, like pain medication or medication that they may give. I hope this isn't triggering, that they may give for people diagnosed with ADHD. But the man-made, the pharmaceuticals like that, it's unclean. It feels unclean. There's like an edge to it. There's always an edge. I have tried ketamine, Ketalar, Ketaset. Not my favorite because it just, I tried to use it for like to connect, and it was not my thing. Not my thing at all. But I've always been in search of a spiritual experience. That's just the way I was kind of made. So I do have 2 goals. One I will keep to myself. The other is I would like to go eventually, like once I've prepared myself well enough, on a plant medicine journey at a reputable place. That is something that I have been very much so looking forward to for about a year and a half. And I feel that once I'm in a place that I'm ready to receive that, the opportunity will present itself. Because I know that where I am currently located, that opportunity at this time. But I'm in it for the medicine. I'm in it for the experience. I'm not in it to be like, well, yes, get me fucked up. Like I had that time. It was fun. It was
fun for sure.
But like, that's not what I'm into anymore. It's not my thing. But I would definitely do that. I will say one of the craziest experiences I had was on peyote. But that was wonderful. It was truly bizarre. I saw colors that I didn't have names for. I didn't have words for. Things like that. It was very, very like almost stepping into cartoon land, which is something I've never experienced on acid. So it was quite bizarre. But I'm really looking forward to exploring more of the Celtic Druidism and being able to utilize plant medicine to help go between worlds and to help be an oracle and a healer. Because I do know that I've got the oil priestess thing. So, I don't know. The oils in the bath, they almost in and of themselves are a mood or mind altering chemical. Like you diffuse them in the air, and like these are for the chakras. I won't bore everyone, but if you're interested, like hit me up on Instagram because I will tell you to death about these amazing life changing oils. But these are also something, even though I don't ingest, they definitely alter my frequency. And so even though it may not be a conscious mood or mind altering thing, my mood and presentation will change as my frequency is changed. So
I love it. So Madam P, you have you've done peyote, you've done LSD. Obviously we've all done weed, so we're not going to go there. What else? Did you say acid was one of them?
yeah. We have
Okay.
acid, shrooms.
And shrooms.
Yeah.
And what do you use now currently to expand your spiritualness?
It depends. How deep do I want to fucking go? Like, do I have an hour to meditate, or do I have a day and a half? If I have a day and a half, then I will go for these, and I will go deep. Even what I thought was going to be a microdose with those ended up being like a full-on dose. So then I tried half that, and it was still a full-on dose. So it depends. It depends on what I'm looking for. Am I looking for a quick answer, or am I looking to heal some ancestral trauma? Am I looking to go into the past and see patterns? It all depends on what I'm trying to create, resolve, achieve, whatever.
Sorry.
That's awesome. I think we haven't heard from Chicha. Chicha, are you doing anything to mind alter your shit?
The only real experience I've had for like a spiritual is definitely with shrooms. I mean, I've done LSD. I've done a few other things, but nothing to really got me on that spiritual feeling. And mostly when I take it, I don't really have the intention of I'm taking this as a spiritual journey, but if it starts to take me on a spiritual journey, I will ride it, definitely. And then usually what I do with it is I draw with it. So.
Oh wait, let me get you close, baby. Hold on.
So as the last time I took shrooms, I was definitely feeling it, and the only way to express myself is to draw. So this is what I drew.
It's beautiful. What do you feel out of that? Like, what if you
It's beautiful.
What did you take out of that? Like, from getting out onto that paper?
Just peace.
Yeah.
Just peace. Relax. Just relax the mind. Forgive. I mean, there's a river, so it's, forgive. Yes. Life goes on. Time is moving. The frequency is moving. You got to move with it, or it's just going to swipe you away. So.
That's exactly where I was going with that question. I love that. I was like, okay, I want you to pick out something in the picture for me. I love it. That's perfect. I love it.
And there's different stages, and the sun is setting. So, when the sun rises, it's a new day, right?
Yeah. Yes. That is so beautiful, Chicha. So beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Thanks.
So there's a couple of comments in here, and Tilly's doing a wonderful job of answering and asking questions in chat. Thank you so much,
awesome.
Tilly. Y'all know I'm fucking
cheers to that. Love it.
But Tilly was asking and answering Dan. Jackson did have a couple of things to say in regards to, we did bring up hexing very briefly, and boy, did everybody jump the fuck onto that one real quick. So,
sorry.
Maybe we'll talk about possibly just talking about spell work and that kind of thing in the future. No guarantees, because we have to discuss it first. So not saying we're going to talk about it. We just have to talk about it as coven, but possibility. But to some of the points that have been
want to give anyone how to hex someone.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
You
it's
know?
not something
Like,
that you
I
want
think
to
giving
teach you
someone a
to do.
how-to for how to hex someone without them having the background can be
Exactly.
dangerous, because you should
Yeah,
know the
it is.
background and you should know kind of
It's chaotic magic.
what your intent is, kind of why you're doing what you're doing.
Bingo. You
And
have
if
to
it's
know
your
what you're
first
doing.
spell ever, don't do it. Don't make it a hex.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to do a love spell for your first spell ever. I mean, you're trying to do it for a selfish reason, and it's not okay.
And you gotta remember, it's a spell. You always have to do it because they're under a spell. It's not, you don't have. If you do a love yourself spell, it's different.
Yeah.
You're gonna glow instead of you have somebody
attracting your right person to you, not attracting necessarily somebody specific that may or may not be right for you. And
Exactly.
to that earlier, I know Tilly asked that question. If you do a love spell like that in regards to a specific person, and maybe the reason why. There's a lot of reasons why that shit doesn't work. Believe me. I mean, I've done a lot of dumbass things in my spell work and my fucking witchcraft, fucking 3 years of plus of whatever. And yes, I have done a spell on a specific person because I'm stupid. And it obviously didn't work because that person wasn't meant for me.
All I can say is there's a meme and a quote about this. A marriage should never start with a kidnapping.
A marriage should never start with kidnapping.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel about love spells. A marriage should never start with a kidnapping. Like love spells on other people. Now, I have done love spells, and I have done a love potion that was like, bitch, love yourself, glug, glug, glug. Like, legit. I saw a meme that said that. It was like, I've made my love potion. It was like, oh, who are you going to make love you? And it was like, myself. And I actually took that seriously. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why the fuck not? So
you should always love yourself.
It's just
love
spell, but like,
Tilly, are you frozen?
I think she.
Yep.
I think she.
All right, I'm gonna
get a good angle.
But Tilly brought up attracting the right people at the right time, and rue is a very good herb for that. That's a very, very good herb. That's literally like, I threw a whole stick of it in the campfire last night.
Hell yeah.
Bring me the good bitches.
But yeah, the reason why maybe it won't work, or it didn't work for you, Danielle, in the past, is because you need to be on the same vibration as the person that you're meant for. It's very possible that the person that you're meant for is the person you're trying to do a love spell on, but in that moment, they are not on the same frequency or vibration as you, and it will not work. It will absolutely not work because you have to be there together.
Yeah.
And if that person isn't there or will never be there, it will never work, and it will just end up being a torment for both of you because there's this pull that is for fucking she or he may not know why, but it's just not a natural pull. So you got to really fucking think about shit like that when you really want to do shit like that. So it's all about free will and all that shit, and yeah, it's just not a fucking good idea. Yeah. Same with hexing, and yes, Wicca does believe in the three. Lily, what is it? You're Wiccan.
The rule of three. Yeah, now, for all of you who've heard of the rule of three, that only applies to people who are of the Wiccan faith. And if any of you guys went back, or if any of you, thank you so much, have been here since episode 1. We really love you. We actually talk about that distinction, how witchcraft in and of itself is not a religion. Wicca is a religious practice of witchcraft. And Wiccans do believe in the rule of three, and that is one of the ways in which they govern themselves. However, for people who practice witchcraft who are not of the Wiccan faith, they can kind of take it or leave it. They're like, yeah, I like the idea of the rule of three. Nah, it's not really my thing. And you know what? That's okay. So just kind of be aware that maybe not everybody follows the same path, and not all witchcraft is the same. That's your PSA, and I'm going to shut up and talk.
Well, I want to piggyback on that by saying, in regards to the whole hexing manner, yes, there are opinions on hexing is absolutely not a good idea. Don't fucking do it. Don't touch it, blah, 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 blah. And then there are other things, other opinions of the fact that, you know what, maybe somebody deserves a good fucking hex, huh? But those are always things that you really have to think about. You have to process through, and you can't do things on a whim because it's the immediate gratification bullshit. You can't be like that as a witch. You cannot, because
Don't be
you
a petty witch.
do shit that could fuck.
Don't be a petty witch.
It
be a
will
petty
come
witch.
back to you.
I think
It
like
will
Don't be a petty warlock.
It's karma.
So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
That's just karma, bitch.
Yeah, seriously,
fucking
that is
karma.
karma. It will fucking come back. Believe me, I have had immediate karma come back on me before in my life. It is not fun.
Yeah,
bad
Karma. Huh, huh.
Don't be a cunt.
Yeah.
Don't be a cunt.
Oh shit. Does anybody have anything else to say in our panel about what we're talking about today? Because yeah, we went off a little bit of a handle on the hexing and stuff like that, but I want to bring it back in and see if we have anything else to say on that.
Yeah.
We've got about 15 minutes before our hour is up, and we go to after party, where we start building this bitch up with, oh, by the way, did we all know that StreamYard's updated and we can have like 10 motherfucking people in this shit now?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so the American one just asked a good question. So does the panel know male witches, or are they wizards? I will say from my personal experience, I know several men who do practice witchcraft. Some of them refer to themselves as witches. Some do refer to themselves as wizards. That's what they identify with the most.
I will say, as a Wiccan, once you are initiated into a coven of whatever Wiccan practice you've chosen, you become a priest or a priestess of that coven. So you're no longer considered a witch, because but it is important to say that outside of your coven, you do have a solitary practice, because that's how you get in the coven, is practicing and helping and everything and growing in your power and everything like that. But anyway, they're called priests and high priests, or priests and priestesses. And then when you elevate to a different status, then it becomes high priests and high priestesses, and that's different. But we don't say witch or anything like that. Once you're in the coven, you're called a priest or a priestess. So that's that.
That's pretty awesome. Lily
That
needed
is.
the knowledge.
I know, I love it. And I learn something on here every fucking time myself from every single one of you, and I fucking love it.
Always.
Does anybody else have an opinion on that? On the witch versus warlock versus male witches, all that shit?
I also just think warlock sounds better than wizard. I always think like, you're a wizard, Harry. Like,
Right?
A wizard.
I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not meaning, like, that's just my word association.
I've heard something
That makes
about,
me so
like,
happy.
some male witches I know don't like to be called warlocks for some, because there's some, like, I don't know, something about the epidemiology, like, of the word itself.
Yeah,
like,
it's a negative
something
connotation.
like someone like a traitor or something
Yes,
along those
and-
lines. I'm not really
Yes.
sure exactly. But
Some
Yes,
of
and
the has been like Satanists, demon worshippers, demon summoners, which it's funny actually. The word demon definitely has different meanings depending on one's culture and one's heritage. Demons were actually, we'll say that for another time.
well, that's a whole nother episode.
Right.
But yes,
I mean, even the word witch is very different. Like, other,
Mhm.
people don't like to be called witches because of the negative connotations. People like to be called healers, different shamans. Trying to think, there was something else I was going to say about that. And of course, I'm fucking high and I lost my train of thought.
Hey, it happened.
Mook's in the house.
Hey, what's up, sweetheart? So, yeah, there is a historical connotation to the word warlock on being like a traitor, a, disloyal and things like that. And that is something that the society way back when put on that term warlock, just like the society recently put on the term witch. Which is why, witches have that evil / negative connotation among so many as well still. So warlock hasn't been used for so long because of that negative connotation. And that is an opinion-based thing, just like everything in this practice is, because you have your own opinions on things and you do them based on them. If you feel that warlock is what you want to be called as a practicing practitioner, my God, is that redundant or what? But whether you want to be called a warlock, witch, or wizard, just, I would say know the historical connotations of what you're adopting, so that you can, first of all, clear that of yourself, but also clear that of anybody who decides to question you about it.
Yeah.
Have that knowledge.
Well said, Amber.
I want to real quick, because Gromies has asked this twice. He's asked it 2 different ways. Do wizards marry witches like in Harry Potter, or do you guys date non-Wicca people? I have yet to find
Fucking muggles.
Would
No.
be, like, he doesn't have to like join in my practice. It would be amazing if he fucking did. Like, if he was so secure in his divine masculinity that he was like, yes. And I, whatever. But no, I mean, I would definitely date someone who's not into magic, just as long as they are accepting of it and they not like, oh, that's stupid shit, or like, just be fucking respectful.
But see, that goes with any relationship in the first place, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You have to be supportive of the other person. I don't care if you're a witch, or I don't care if you're a fucking accountant. You support me with the fuck I'm doing.
Muggles.
Yeah.
Muggles. Muggle.
But I know a lot of people do date outside of their spirituality, but sometimes people experience judgment. I see a lot of people reaching out in the witchcraft community about, how do I deal with the judgment that I'm receiving from, like, my love,
My spouse,
or my significant other?
Can Wiccans be hired to perform rituals or hexes or blessings? That's a Wiccan directed question, American one. I'm going to let Lily take it.
No. If you're doing anything for money or monetizing anything, you're not in it for the spiritual aspect, I feel.
Yeah. Thank you,
And
Lily.
And as a Wiccan, like, no, the coven isn't hired to go and, like, do shit in your house or perform magic tricks when, like.
Now, if you need a coven, we'd be more than happy to let you know how to do that.
Individual non-Wiccan witches, definitely, they sell their products. I sell products, that are magical in nature. So, I mean, you can hire a non-Wiccan witch, but if you want somebody who follows, if Wiccan is what you're specifically looking for, you may be able to offer an energy exchange as opposed to just cash money. Some witches are open to that, some are not. It all kind of depends. But I think that energy exchange would probably be more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I know definitely lots of witches will, like, do spells for their friends, like, if they just feel like they need it, like, out of, just friendliness. But also, I did watch a documentary about Romanian witches who practice, like, really old school Romanian witchcraft, but they, that had been in their family for generations and generations, but now these witches, like, take phone calls from people across the world, and they'll, like, hex people for you, they'll heal someone, they do all sorts of things over the phone for straight up cash money, like PayPal, like.
Wow. That's really, that's sad to hear. Yeah.
I guess different traditions.
I don't want to interrupt you, Tilly. I don't want to interrupt you, sweetheart, but we've got some sound issues going on.
Yeah. I thought it was just me that was hearing that.
Okay. Tilly, mute real quick. Oh, wait, you picked it up. Oh, she just went off. Okay. Hopefully she'll come back. I think it was her though. I did that one time. I think I was on Twisted Live and I had my phone setting on a surface and it was like because of the surface it was on. I was like, I had no fucking idea that I was fucking it all up for like a really long time.
Am I the only one that hears
I'm
that?
sorry, honey. I did not mean to interrupt her at all, but I know I was having a hard time hearing her for a second there. So hopefully she comes back real quick. But we are actually at 55. I feel like maybe we should close this out real quick. I really hope to get on before we close it out because we're going to start our after party. Okay. We're going to start this back up real quick. We're going to have a full ass panel. Every single one of you motherfuckers is welcome and invited. Yeah. I'm going to start a new live. There she is. Thank you, baby. I'm so glad.
And look, I rolled this jiggy for it.
Hey, she is ready.
I rolled this little magic thing and it wasn't fucking working. So I was like, I had to roll a teach it toy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Is your phone propped up on something? Because I think it's like hitting something and it's like making a little bit of a funky little noise. That's what I was trying to see if it was happening.
Right. It was like echoing.
Yeah,
technical difficulties.
It's better when you're holding it.
Sorry, guys.
So cool. Everyone is invited to the after party. And you're all invited.
Open panel.
Yeah, the open panel.
Open panel. And Miss Tilly has something written in her grimoire that I would love to, and she has let us adopt as a canon cousin our tagline, which we are going to say at each closing now. Oh, by the way, if you didn't check it later or earlier, we're going to start talking about moon shit next week. So next week. Tilly, as we take up our bongs, bowls, joints, and whatever the fuck we've got, what is our tagline from here on out? Besides booty witches, because you know that's the fucking shit right there.
Big booty witches.
Big booty witches.
Something I wrote in here for some reason forever ago, but it says sky above, earth below, smoke within.
There you go.
Sky above.
Sky above.
Smoke below.
Earth below.
Earth below.
Smoke within.
Smoke within.
Cheers. Big booty witches.
Big booty witches. We're going to see you in just a couple minutes, you guys.
Hang tight. Be right back.
That was a sucky ass bit. All right. We'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right.
Bye.